Hello guys, welcome to Young Developer channel. So today this is gonna be my first video, and the purpose of this video is to show you how to get Laravel, Babylon and Vue.js in one project. So let's get started, shall we? So how does all this project actually comes to play and how can they contribute? You can actually make game, but I recently made a project that captures quite some attention. And some people actually did ask me how I did it, so I might as well make a video and sort of teach you guys how to do it. And this is the project that I did previously, where you have Laravel as your background. So this is all run on Blade, and all I need to do is just to chuck in some 360 image on Vue drop. And this is Vue drop zone, and they will upload into the server MySQL. As you can see over here, there's some scenes and stuff like that going on about, and it's on a 3D renderer where I can turn around, place more buttons here and there, drag around the buttons, save it to your database, and go into a present mode where I can start presenting it to my customer. So I can draw around and put some highlights, stuff like that. So let's get started, shall we? I'll see you there. Alright, first we just have to create a basic directory so that you can get your all files set. I actually did a test previously just to make sure all my theories and stuff like that is correct. So first thing first, you need to download Composer. For those people that do not have Composer, you can actually just go over here and type Composer. And click on download. If you are on Linux or Mac, it's gonna be way easier to download, but if you're on PC, it's actually not that difficult. Just, search for Windows, installer, click on Composer Setup, download it, and just download. I will leave the link for this in the description below. The next thing you need is Node.js. So for Windows, you have to download the entire node. I recommend going for the stable version, like this over here. As for Ubuntu, you can just download the npm. Just search for Ubuntu npm package. Should be sudo apt install npm, something like that. Lastly, you might just ignore it. Yarn, it's a good tool. You can install it here though, so after you install Node, you can just install it here. Don't really have to come here to install it. That is about it for all of this. So shall we get started? As you can see over here, I typed cmd just to open a console panel that actually points towards my YouTube. I put it on my desktop. Okay. As just want to double check if your Composer is actually set up, type in Composer to double check it. Right now I need to install one thing, Composer. I need to create a project. So type create project, and I prefer a distribution project, so prefer this. And I want to create a Laravel project. As I mentioned in the title, this video is gonna be Laravel, Babylon and Vue.js. How do I actually get them all into one? So Laravel, then you put your project name in there as a last parameter. As I will put Babylon Laravel. Let's go. So this might take a while. I'll let it run and I'll see you later. Alright, welcome back guys. So I've just finished installing and creating my project. I can now... Alright, sorry guys, I do not know why OBS suddenly stopped my recording. Probably I accidentally hit some button. But what I did just now was I installed a TS loader and TypeScript. You can use Yarn to install, or you can use npm like I do. Yarn and npm, they do almost the same thing. Not very sure what's the difference. So let's continue, shall we? So after I've set up this TypeScript, what should I do next? So I'll open up my Visual Studio Code. For those of you that's following, you can either use Visual Studio Code or whatever code editor that you actually like. Then at the front page, you can actually use just create a tsconfig JSON file. You can actually use the TypeScript init to actually init this thing if you do not want to create it like I do right here. But I just did it anyway, so let's continue. What I need from this guy, it's actually a compile option. So I need a way to compile my TypeScript. As for that, let's go back to Babylon TypeScript. On this channel and on this website, you can find something related to it over here. So let's start with setting out a TypeScript channel first. TypeScript support. Alright, cool. So TypeScript, I need the compile option. Set up a compile option. It's another JSON file. So like I said, if you do not want to manually type tsconfig.json, you can actually use a tsc init. It will still create this and with a bunch of generator parameter for you, but I don't need all of the this is Webpack. This is not tsconfig. I don't need all of the params. I only need few of the params. So let's get started, shall we? So what are the things that I need here? First thing first, I need module. So let's create module, and it's actually common.js. And the next thing I need is target. I'm gonna use ES5. You can use ES6, but for now I'm just gonna use ES5 and no implicit any. This thing, it really depends. You can put false, you can put true. Depends on your discipline actually. So source map, we are gonna let Laravel handle that. So nope, not gonna have any source map. As for the rest, nope, nothing else. And this is very important. I'm gonna set an include parameter here. So this is where all of your TypeScript folder shall be located at. And as you can see, it's an array, so you can put it in a lot of places, but I'm just gonna put it at one places. Resources, TS. So resources, TypeScript. And I'm gonna say everything inside there and inside there. So basically anything that's inside TypeScript will be included on the compilation. So after I set up this, I need to go to my Webpack and set up some configuration as well. So for Webpack configuration, it shall be Webpack config. For this part, I don't really quite remember. So, oh yeah, by the way, you can actually take a look at this on what kind of compilation do you think you want to go with and stuff like that. This is not that bad. It's actually quite good. You can just follow it. But I'm just gonna go with my own tastes on how I actually like my compilation to be done. As for your Webpack, I do not need an output. I do not need an entry because I already have both of those. I need resolve and I need modules. Modules with rules. So let's start with modules first. So module and rule. So rule takes in array, and in the array, the first thing I want to do is, if you come back here, you can just copy. And delete this, go back one line, this, and maybe I want to exclude node module. I do remember they did exclude node module. Why didn't I see it just now? Yeah, they did exclude node module. Copy the wrong one. But still almost the same. Alright, next I need to add in something. This is not necessary, but it might make your life way better. So I need to add in some extension. So the first thing that I need to add in is everything. Next thing is JS, and next thing is JSX. This is all for JavaScript, TS, TypeScript, and TSX. So I do not want to import with extension. That is the reason why I add in this resolve extension over here. So with this being implemented, we can now technically, theoretically compile. I hope nothing goes wrong. And as usual, things always goes wrong in your life. Nothing is smooth. And we just have to find out why. I think I did install it. No, I did not. I'm so smart. Alright, be right back after this installation is done. Alright guys, welcome back. As I've just finished my installation, let's try and run it again, and same problem. So cross env is not recognized. This is weird. They shouldn't have this issue if I install it correctly, that is. Alright guys, I really don't know what's going on. I use npm install, it gets me into a lot of problem, but once I shifted to this yarn install, everything works fine. So conclusion, fuck npm, use yarn. Alright, so it's telling me to give it a moment. It's trying to install Vue template compiler, which I do not know why it's trying to do that. I don't remember requiring it. Yeah, I don't remember requiring it. Doesn't mean that I have to get Vue to use it? Probably. So it's quite simple. It's not that difficult. All I need to do is this. And we can actually go to Laravel Vue to check how to do that. So first we use composer to require Laravel UI. After that we specify what kind of UI we would like to use. It's either Bootstrap, Vue or React. So not very sure why Bootstrap is here. It's a old thingy. Probably it's good. Not sure. Right. So after that you type PHP artisan UI view to actually specify what kind of view do you want. So after all those, let's try again. Hopefully it works. I have high hope for this. Awesome. Looks promising. Yep, it's promising. So we need Vue. Anyway, I'm gonna show you Vue. I'm gonna use Vue anyway, so it's not really a big deal. It's just that my routine switched up a little bit. I installed Babylon before I install Vue. I haven't even installed Babylon, by the way. Okay, let's test our TypeScript first. So to test our TypeScript, it's actually quite easy. We just have to go to app.js, not you, the uncompiled version, you, yes, you. And next thing is create a file called application.ts. We will need you later. Export class application constructor console.log hello world. I think this is very straightforward. I created a class called application. I exported it out so that other people can actually import it and require it, and I created something called hello world if someone actually construct this guy. Very simple, nothing complicated. And after that, we need to go towards our view plate, and we need to include this guy in. Alright, so first thing first, I would like to have my script included on my welcome page, because my only route right now is on my view and welcome. I'll create another layer called PHP artisan serve to open up a server. I don't really need homestate right now, guys, because all I need to do is just to render Babylon without any backend system. Homestate is very good for things like if you need to Postgres or MySQL set up perfectly before everything is actually set up. So all of those gone. Now I just gotta clean up here a little bit. I don't need you, and all of you. Okay, cool. And now all I need to do is type in script source. What kind of source am I putting in? I can actually put asset here, but I'm gonna put mix since we are using the new Laravel anyway. So mix.app.js, I think that's it. Not very sure. If you were to compile a authentication route, you can actually see the generated file. Oh yeah, there's a JS in front of it. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. Not very sure. We shall try it out first before proceed. So type console.log app. Next thing that we have to do over here is just to write npm run watch pool so that it can actually detect changes from app.js and stuff like that. And to actually test that out, I need to turn this on. Okay, so I do not have an app, but my app is working, as you can see. So as for Vue.js, they are trying to get an app ID, but on my welcome.blade there is no such thing called app, so I have to create a div. Actually no, let's just straight away go towards the main point. Nah, let's forget about that. Let's just create an app. So over here I'm gonna create an app, and that should fix the issue. Yep. Okay, now let's move on. First thing, we have to create a Vue component. As the title suggests, this is also Vue tutorial. I'm gonna create Babylon component.vue, a template, and a script. Very simple. Export default. Nothing complicated over there. And over here, very simple. Create a canvas. Class equals to render canvas. Nothing complicated. And might put it ID. There is no one else using render. Next thing is I need a reference so that my script can actually get it. Over here, I'm just gonna put it mounted. It's a function, and I can actually put props, so I can do something like enable full screen and stuff like that, yada yada. But for this tutorial, once it's rendered, I'll consider it complete, so not really useful. Anyway, let's get started. So over here, I'm gonna put application equals a new application, So they can't actually detect my application for some reason, but that doesn't really matter. I just have to import I can't really see that when they actually do that, so I have to remove that just to see it. Application, yes, cool. And I put it the same name as the file, so I can just copy it over here. I think that's about it. Now I just have to register Babylon onto my global classes. I can just change this guy to Babylon, and the file is actually Babylon component. Alright, that seems to be some issue. Oh. Before I do that, let me check if my TypeScript compiler is actually running nicely. Oh, yep. They took it away. Yeah, nothing special. Just type it back. Rules array over here, and a few stuff that I have to watch out of is this. Not very sure what this is actually. I just follow the documentation. You know what, just gonna copy from my existing project that I turn it on. Resolve. So what kind of things am I resolving, so that I do not have to copy myself 10,000 times. For Webpack, you do need to rerun your entire watch pool so that they can actually catch the changes and stuff like that. As for this, let's try it again. Awesome, but I'm not seeing my hello world, which is rather concerning. I'm not seeing this guy. Let me try hard reload it. Still not seeing it. Oh, obviously I'm not gonna see it. I don't remember putting it here. Yeah, Babylon component. Alright, now it's not a constructor. That is to say, they could not really recognize this thing called application. Let any might not call it application. I might call it BL application, Babylon Laravel application. That way they might not get confused with what am I trying to do. So if I were to go back here, I try my luck here, BL application. Okay, they did try to. Okay, now it works. I think there's some conflicts over there. So I'm not very sure if there's a namespace in JavaScript. But what happened was application is any, and there is another application existed. So I need to create another name for it. I call it BL application. That way both projects can actually work together. This is just another way on how I code. I always put my initial of the project in front. So like virtual exhibition, I'll put V in front. Nothing much to show there. So let's move on. Next, we need to install Babylon. We have been going through so much without actually installing Babylon. Installing Babylon is actually quite simple. All I need to do is just copy this guy, come over here, just open a new one, install it. Nothing fancy, just install. Alright, done. So after installing it, you don't really have to put it onto the compiler. I have tested it. Don't really have to import it on the Vue. That's not a very good practice. Import everything here. So there's few things that I need. I'll just put it down first. So the first thing I need is canvas. This is my practice. You can just type canvas. I like to type n_canvas to show that it's actually a member of the property. So HTML canvas element, and then I will create an engine. So this engine handle all the render loop and stuff like that. So call it engine. It's not detecting it. Just have to import it once, and they should be able to detect it. Babylon.js and engine. Cool, they got it. And then I need scene. Okay, cool. Scene, alright. There you go, it auto imports. That's what I'm looking for. After scene, I need a way to render them, so I need a camera. So I'm gonna go with this camera. Arc rotate camera. And after arc rotate camera, last thing I need. Actually, no, I'm just gonna ignore both of those for now. Okay, let's get started, shall we? So protected update. I need a way to update the scene. So this dot might as well. I request the canvas here. So canvas HTML canvas element. This dot canvas equals to canvas, and this dot engine equals to new engine. Okay, let's see what engine parameter takes in. It takes in a canvas. Cool. This dot mCanvas, and it takes in a boolean. It actually don't takes in. You can actually leave that blank, but I'm just gonna turn on anti-aliasing so that it looks nicer. Next is a scene, new scene, and I believe scene takes in an engine. Yep, it takes in an engine. Next thing is actually the camera. Rotate camera. So this guy, it takes in a name, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, camera. My main camera, alpha 0, theta. I think I want it to be mapped out by divided by 2 so that it actually face up. Radius, how big of a radius? 5. Factor, new factor 3. I want to start at origin, so 0, 0, 0. And this dot scene, so that it actually inputs this into the scene. For those of you that use Three.js, you might be familiar with scene add and then put all your stuff into the scene. But this is the other way around. You put in your scene, they will handle the rest. So I think that is about it. Now I just have to render my scene. So to render my scene, I have to call my engine, render, run render loop. Yep, this guy. And it takes in a function, a void function. So I can just put in my update. But as all of you guys know, this kind of method is actually called callbacks. Callbacks, they have their own, what do you call that? Their own this. So to actually use this as BL application, I have to bind this. So that when I call this, I'm actually calling BL application instead of the update circles. I don't know why you call that in C++. We actually have something. Well, let's talk about that later. So, scene render. I need to render my scene. So, I think that's about it. I can have a scene right now. Undefined array buffer. Oh, okay. I think it's because I did not. Yep. So I will reference this .ref.canvas. I will reference the canvas over here and pass in as my BL application and parameter. There you go. That's it. Okay. Alright, next we have to add style. I want this thing to be as big as possible. So render canvas width 100%, height 100%. I would love this thing to be as big as possible as well. So just to get rid of all of this, make sure that the heights, margin and padding is 0 for body, 0, and for app, width it's 100%, height is 100 VH. I think that concludes. Yep, it actually takes up the entire screen. Perfect. Okay, so I would like to see something on my screen right now. You guys might not believe me, but it's actually rendering something right now. So I can actually come over here, but I don't think you guys will believe me. It's better for me to show you guys how the things runs. So I can clear color equals to new color for, and this will be all black. Alright, I was scared for a second. I saw everything's white. Alright, so right now I just want to render something on the screen, and that is actually pretty simple. I just have to create a light. Let's call it new hemisphere light. Let's see what it takes in. It takes in name light. New vector 3 direction. I will let it be this, and this times it. Next thing I want to create is a sphere. I mean, everyone goes with a sphere, right? Then they put materials on it and see how nice it looks on it. New sphere. Actually, mesh builder. Create sphere. So believe this is name, so call it sphere. This is option. I want segment, 32 segment. Diameter, let's go with 50. You need something else? Yep, sin. You still need something? What do you need? Oh, sorry. So when I'm using Mesh Builder, they will actually create a new spheres for me. I do not have to create my own. I'm not seeing things. That is concerning. Let's go back to the website and check what am I doing it wrong. So I created a hemisphere, right? Light vector. I created a sphere. Oh, maybe it might be too big. Yeah, it might be too big. Let's put it 1. Yep, it's too big. It's too big. As for the camera, I did not bind the camera, and that is bad. As you guys can see, they actually bind the camera over here. They attach the camera to a canvas to get the inputs from the canvas. So let's do that before I end the video, shall we? And what is this? No prevent. Yep, no prevent. Reload this. There you go, guys. A 3D rendered scene on Laravel. So what can we do with all this kind of stuff? There's plenty of stuff we can do. We can create a game, and we can store all our data into Laravel, and we can create a nice UI with Vue, but they will be running on DOM. So Babylon got few ways of actually rendering UI. So as you guys can see from here, not this guy, not you as well, you can use Babylon UI, which is fantastic. It's actually quite solid. It's not very bad. And Castor GUI, never used this before. That GUI, anyone that use 3JS will know what is this. It's very nice. Or HTML, where you are rendering on DOM. Every single way works. You can make a game. You can make what I did. Anything you can think of 3D. You can even make a website with this. Make some cool shaders and render it on your website. You can do a lot of stuff. So I think that's about it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you like and subscribe if this actually helped you. Yeah, please share it with your friends. See you.